The morning routine, the power of preparation. As Friday dawns, the subtle hum of discipline is your guiding light. The habits you've cultivated throughout the week converge into this singular moment, when preparation meets purpose. Before the world stirs, you rise, dedicated to crafting a day defined by intention rather than impulse. Navigating the mid-morning challenges, the morning brings its own share of tests. External distractions and internal doubts, both vying for control. Yet, it is the quiet resolve within that holds the power. You begin your tasks, knowing that it's not about how you feel, but about what you've committed to doing. Reflection on the week's progress, the midday pause. As midday approaches, a pause for reflection. The week has been a journey of incremental growth, each day sharpening your resolve. You take a moment to breathe, reviewing not only what you've achieved but how far you've come mentally. The small victories, the quiet wins, these are the foundation of transformation. The afternoon grind, pushing through the resistance. As the day advances, resistance meets resolve. Fatigue sets in, and with it, the temptation to slow down. But here lies the true test: to keep moving forward, to push through the haze of lethargy, and to remain unwavering in the pursuit of your goals. The power of connection, evening with friends. Yet, growth is not solely a solitary pursuit. Friday's evening brings with it the importance of connection, reaching out to those who elevate your spirit and contribute to your journey. It is through meaningful relationships that our progress is both celebrated and nurtured. Acknowledging the week's efforts, self-reward. Friday also calls for recognition, a subtle nod to the efforts you've poured into the week. But self-reward is not indulgence. Rather, it's an acknowledgement of your progress, a quiet reminder that you're on the path to something greater. Evening reflection, preparing for the future. As the day winds down, you take a moment for reflection. What went well? What challenges did you overcome? And most importantly, what lessons have you learned? These quiet moments of introspection are where true growth resides, an investment in a future that remains unwritten, but full of promise. Gratitude and looking forward. Friday's end is not a conclusion but a prelude to greater things. With gratitude for the present and anticipation for the future, you rest, knowing that each step forward brings you closer to your highest self. Growth is not defined by giant leaps but by the consistent movement toward becoming the best version of yourself. Evening walk by the water. As Friday draws to a close, the week's whirlwind begins to settle. Today marks a moment of stillness, a moment to reflect on the days that have passed, the challenges we faced, the victories, no matter how small, that we've won. It's in these quieter moments, as we walk the paths of our lives, that clarity often emerges. And tonight, as you walk with me, alongside this river under a sky that gently fades from the vibrance of day into the cool embrace of night, let's take time to reflect. How many times this week did you find yourself overwhelmed, stretched thin by the demands of work, of relationships, of personal expectations? And yet, despite it all, here you are, perhaps a little tired, perhaps a little worn, but still standing. Still walking forward. The truth is, life moves in cycles. Some days we feel strong, ready to take on the world. Other days, we may feel uncertain, even fragile. And that's okay. These fluctuations are natural. Each day, each moment, a different step in the rhythm of our lives. What matters is not how often we stumble but that we continue moving forward, learning, growing, and evolving. Take a moment to breathe. Feel the cool air on your skin, hear the soft rustle of the leaves in the wind, and the gentle flow of the river by your side. There is something deeply grounding about reconnecting with the natural world, something that reminds us of the vastness of life and our place within it. Each challenge we face, each problem we encounter, is not an obstacle to our growth, but rather a stepping stone. A lesson waiting to be learned. This week, perhaps you were tested in ways you didn't expect. Maybe there were moments where the weight of responsibility felt too heavy to bear. But even in those moments, you were building resilience. You were learning the art of perseverance. You see, life is not just about the grand moments, the achievements that can be measured or seen by others. True growth often happens in the quiet, in the moments when no one is watching. It's in the decisions you make when you're alone, the commitments you uphold even when they're difficult, and the way you choose to respond to life's many challenges. So, as you walk this path tonight, ask yourself, what have I learned this week? What challenges made me stronger? What moments made me pause, made me reconsider the way I approach my life? Reflect on these questions, not with judgment, but with curiosity and kindness. Because growth is not about perfection, it's about progress. And progress, no matter how small, is still progress. The water flowing beside you is a symbol of life itself. It moves constantly, sometimes gently, sometimes with great force, but always forward. The river doesn't resist its path, it doesn't fight against the obstacles in its way. It flows over them, around them, and eventually, it reaches its destination. This is the mindset we can adopt as we move through life, trusting the journey, embracing the flow, and knowing that even when things feel difficult, we are still moving forward. Let go of the need for control. Allow yourself to experience the flow of life, to trust that things are unfolding as they should, even when you can't see the bigger picture. There is power in surrendering to the process, in trusting that the universe has a plan for you, even when it's not entirely clear what that plan is. On this Friday night, let's not dwell on the mistakes or the what-ifs of the week. Let's instead focus on what we've gained, what we've learned. Each day, each challenge, has brought you closer to the person you are meant to be. And that is something worth celebrating. It's important to recognize that reflection is not about dwelling on the past, but rather about learning from it. Reflection is a tool, a mirror through which we can better understand ourselves and our journey. So, as you reflect tonight, focus not on what went wrong, but on what went right. Focus on the ways you've grown, the strength you've gained, and the wisdom you've earned. Remember, growth doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process, one that requires patience, persistence, and most importantly, self-compassion. You are not in a race. There is no deadline for becoming the best version of yourself. All you can do is take each day as it comes, learning, growing, and evolving with every step. As you continue walking by the river, feel the weight of the week slowly lifting off your shoulders. You are here, now, in this moment. You are exactly where you need to be. Take one last deep breath, inhaling all the lessons, the growth, and the peace that this week has offered you. And as you exhale, release any lingering stress, any doubts, any fears. You are moving forward, and that's all that matters. Tomorrow is a new day, a fresh start, a new opportunity to continue your journey of growth. But for now, let's simply enjoy this moment of reflection, this moment of peace. Because in the end, it's these moments, the quiet, reflective ones, that truly shape us.